You can never check. Back to back for the niggas who dig. Back to back like I'm on a lethal weapon. Back to back like I'm loaded, my niggas every step. Whoa! Very important and very protected.
Drake, aka Aubrey Drake Graham, has to be one of the most iconic rap stars of the decade. The Canadian rapper has enjoyed massive success and popularity thanks to record-breaking singles like God's Plan and In My Feelings. But Drake wasn't always as popular and successful as he is now. In fact, his life is a bundle of facts that even true Drake fans might not know about. In this set of Top Trending, we give you a list of 20 lesser-known facts about Drake. Remember the time we used to Google pictures of surreal places and set them as backgrounds on PCs? When Drake's title tally read a big fat 0, he used to Google pictures of residential swimming pools. He found the most beautiful one of them and set it as his desktop wallpaper. Right swipe a few years and Drake's net worth has rocketed to a neat $30 million. When he was looking for his first home in LA, it was the same home with the pool. The property was marked at the price of $20 million, but Drake picked it up for $7.7 million, thanks to the owner's financial woes. The property was nicknamed the YOLO Estate, and the pool is decorated with flame-spitting torches, elk statues, a grotto with flat-screen TVs, and a giant water slide. For the longest time, the record for the most simultaneous Billboard Top 10 singles was held by the Beatles. The cult band made the impossible feel real with 5 simultaneous Billboard Top 10 singles. But 2018 is the year of Drizzy. He zoomed past both his critics and the Beatles, with 7 Top 10 Billboard singles in the first week of July 2018. You don't have to really be an admirer of Drake to acknowledge the fact that titles like Nice for What, Nonstop, God's Plan, In My Feelings, I'm Upset, Emotionless, and Don't Matter to Me have broken a record that many of us thought was meant to last forever. Drake broke into the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 2009, and since then he's never been off it. That's over 420 weeks on the chart, and that's not all. Drake broke Bauer's Harlem Shake record of 2013 with a staggering 116.2 million US streams for In My Feelings. Plus, Drake presently is the joint record holder for spending the most number of weeks topping the Hot 100 chart in the 2010s. Only Rihanna and Drake have spent 41 weeks sitting at the top rung. We're guessing neither has a fear of heights. Drake joined the cool bandwagon of animated movies in 2012 by voicing the character of Ethan, the jock mammoth in Ice Age Continental Drift. He carried the personality so well that no one could guess it was his first stint with voiceover for animation. In an interview about the role, Drake described Ethan as a young, strapping, handsome jock, which he totally was. Drake's dad, Dennis Graham, used to be a drummer back in the day, but unfortunately his mom and dad were divorced when Drake was 5, and while Drake stayed in Toronto with his mom, his dad moved to Memphis, Tennessee. Dennis Graham had later done a collaborated track titled Drake's Dad with the Canadian music group Arkells, and it wasn't just his dad. Drake's uncle Larry Graham played bass guitar and worked with Prince. Songwriter Teenie Hodges was also his paternal uncle. With his mom and dad divorced, Drake's childhood was already sufficiently messed up. On top of that, the lack of a stable household income did not help. Drake and his mom dragged their lives from one paycheck to the other. Most of that changed when Drake appeared on a Canadian TV show Degrassi at the age of 15. It was during Degrassi that Drake saw the writing clear on the wall. Drake's flourishing music career that we see today, he saw it right then. In 2008, Drake got a call from Lil Wayne with an offer to join his tour. Drake also signed up for his Young Money International label for a whopping $2 million. You can't look behind from such highs in life. Lil Wayne has one of the largest crews of artists working with him, and many of them are female. Yeah, those ones that generally appear in the music videos. So when Lil Wayne was in prison back in 2010, Drake smashed one of Wayne's side chicks, something that Wayne does not typically approve of. We did some research on this, but we best not reveal who was who. Mr. Drizzy had dropped out of high school at 15, the same year he participated on the TV show Degrassi. 10 years later, in October 2012, Drake was 25 years old when he tweeted this. From the numbers, it looks like Drake really dug his head into the books. If anything, he set out a strong message on the value of high school education to all his fans across the globe. Kudos to Drake, and to his teacher Kim Jansen, who Drake thanked in a later tweet for working with him tirelessly for 5 months. Are you a Potterhead? And can you identify fellow Potterheads when they lip Sectum Sempra without actually uttering the sound? Then you're a friend of Drake. The gentleman loves the franchise, both books and movies, so much that at one point he was chasing every bookstore around the globe for the first edition of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. In a November 2017 interview with Billboard, when Drake learned that they had found the first edition book on the market for $16,000, he promised to get it for his own birthday. If you're black, born in Canada, and your early teens coincided with the tune of the new millennium, you probably already know what this is about. In an interview with The Heap magazine, Drake spoke at length about what it meant to be the only black kid at a Jewish day school. He lamented that nobody back then knew what it was like to be a black Jew. The large-hearted Drake also indemnified the kid, saying that it's extremely difficult for young kids to understand the complex makeup of religion and race. He continues to be a proud black Jew till date. Earlier this year, Drake bolted his way through the Billboard streaming songs with his track God's Plan. The title garnered 82.4 million streams in the first week itself. 68 million of those streams were on-demand clicks, which is a new world record in itself. Drake's song became the second to start at the top spot, the only other song being Finesse by Bruno Mars and Cardi B. God's Plan pretty much defined the year for Drake, as it's also his first song to start at the top of the charts. So far, Drake has 6 chart toppers, including God's Plan, Once Dance, featuring WIZKID and KYLA, and Work, featuring himself on Rihanna's track. At this rate, we'd say there's plenty more coming. It takes a special person to beat Michael Jackson in any of his records. Drake is that kind of person. In the October 2016 AMA, Drake set himself a new record by raking in a staggering 13 nominations. Michael Jackson's 11 nominations in 1984 was the highest for a good 32 years before 2016, and it didn't stop at the nominations. Drake swiftly scooped up 4 awards: Favorite Rap Hip Hop Artist, Favorite Song in the Rap Hip Hop category, and Favorite Rap Hip Hop Album.
I really want to thank everybody that helped me make this album, especially 40 for always being there for me.
For a man with such fine taste, it remains a mystery how no one saw this coming. Drake makes his own whiskey, ladies and gentlemen. That's Canadian nobility for you. In June 2016, Drake came out with his whiskey brand, Virginia Black. The bottle sold like hot pie, hitting sales figures of 30,000 cases in 12 months flat. The brand has done terrific business over the past couple of years. In January 2018, spirits entrepreneur Brent Hawking teamed up with Drake and announced that they will soon open stock options for investors and redefine how the world looks at whiskey. When was the last time a rapper took that kind of a challenge? With big money, it's important to make the right kind of investment, and man, Drizzy is on course. And how? Drake has already signed up with Netflix. In November 2017, Drake told The Hollywood Reporter about his plans in TV and films. He's turned the executive producer for Top Boy, the revival of the popular British drama that ran between 2011 and 2013 with the same name. If things fall in place, Netflix viewers will be in for some treat in early 2019. Like each one of us, Drake owes a lot to his mother. For the longest stretch, his mother was single and lived off disability checks while raising him up in Toronto. Drake's father was in Memphis, Tennessee, and had a peculiar knack of running into trouble with the law. His mother could not work because of the physical pain from her disability, but Drake's single mom did not give up. They kept moving from one apartment to another until they landed up in a room in the basement. So if you had previously thought Drake was always rich, you sir got the whole story wrong. Drake to this day is still obsessed with Aaliyah. He has a tattoo of her face on the left half of his back. In fact, the rap star's adoration for the American singer and actress has been documented at length. His obsession drew him the ire of none other than Timbaland, who declared that Drake's posthumous collaboration with Aaliyah will not work because, guess what? Timbaland is Aaliyah's soulmate. To be fair to Timba, he did work with Aaliyah during her career. A good artist becomes a rich artist when he meets the right producer. Drake met 40, his producer for life, during the video shoot of Replacement Girl. It was there that he understood the value of quality production. In fact, 40 himself was so blown away with Drake that he charged nothing for his first recording session.
Come in and do a remix, and Drake and Boy Wonder came to the studio, and that's the first day I met
It's rumored that every bit of Drake's music, from vocals to beats to even studio banter, must first go through 40. Drake's honest personality means he has no shame in admitting that his father introduced him to rap music. Drake recounts how his father shared a cell phone with a rapper named Poverty while he was a jailbird. The two of them swapped some lyrics over the phone, and the rest is history.
I see potential, I just gotta see it through. If you had a twin, I would still choose you. I don't wanna rush into it if it's too soon, but I know you need.
The mayor of Houston, Texas has declared June 10th as a public holiday. That day is called Drake Day and has been celebrated every year since 2014. The local mayor, Anise D. Parker, argued that in 2008, Drake toured Houston with Lil Wayne and since then has been paying homage to Houston through his lyrics, which makes him a City of Houston ambassador. It's feats like these that tell you've truly arrived. Drake's song The Best I Ever Had is a chart-bursting song that went as high as the second spot on the Billboard chart. But not many know that the video direction of the song was done by none other than Kanye West. Drake later told MTV that Kanye West as an individual oozes out creativity, and his ideas were better than anybody else's. So that brings us to the end of our list of 20 facts you didn't know about Drake. Did we miss any lesser-known thing about Drizzy? Let us know in the comments below.